Hi everyone, I am presenting my final project and my name is Elora Kennedy and I'm in your Communication 313 class of Persuasion. Alright, what is the social issue? The social issue that I am interested in addressing through a persuasion campaign is abortion. The reason that we need to care about this issue is because recently there was a bill passed that has now limited access to abortions for individuals that are seeking them in their state. It is urgent because we have worked so hard to get so many rights for women and these rights in place, and now they're being taken away just as easily as a snap of a finger. I believe that this issue can be addressed through persuasion because this topic has had some biased beliefs, and with good convincing, we might be able to change the minds of others. I mentioned that a bill was passed that took away the rights of women. This bill was called the Heartbeat Bill. This bill bans any termination of pregnancy that a fetal heartbeat can be detected. It's wrong to put in place as it is rare for women to know that they are pregnant before 6 weeks, which is when the fetus begins to have a heartbeat. The bill is now forcing women to remain pregnant. These are undesired pregnancies, okay? At 6 weeks, a fetus would never be able to survive outside of the mother's womb. But to some, this is considered a life. Stop and think for a moment. At 6 weeks, a fetus's life versus the life of the mother that is going to be forced into it. Do you think this might change how a mother treats her unborn child? And what about the fetus? And what about when the fetus is born? Not only is this bill crippling to women in their choice, but it's also going to make those who perform any abortions can see a penalty up to 10 years in prison. That's 10 years. So if you just so happen to terminate a pregnancy even though you heard the heartbeat, you better go to jail now. These heartbeat bills are extreme and unconstitutional because they are trying to ensure that abortions are banned for those who seek termination before a point that a fetus would be able to survive outside the womb. Alright, I'm supposed to describe one existing campaign. I did find one and it's going on right now. It's called You Know Me. The You Know Me movement is currently going on, like I said, for abortion rights across America. Okay? This is going to help fight against this abortion stigma. The You Know Me uses a statistic of 1 in 4 women will have an abortion before the age of 45. That statistic sometimes surprises people, and maybe you're sitting there thinking, I don't know any women. I don't know anyone that's ever had an abortion. Well, guess what? The whole idea is that you know me. So they are encouraged to share stories on their social media about their abortion, okay? In wake of the proposed Alabama abortion ban, that heartbeat bill that I was telling you about. The principle of persuasion that I've chosen is social proof. The social proof states that one important means that people use to decide what to believe or how to act in a situation is to look at what others are believing and doing. So, monkey see, monkey do. It's kind of how we work, okay? That's this persuasion method. Optimal conditions for maximizing this influence is under 2 conditions: uncertainty and similarity. When people are uncertain about things, they look onto others to help guide their decision. People are known to follow others in similar human behavior. The reason and idea that I can think of personally of when this happens is I joke with my nephews all the time. I tell them, monkey see, monkey do. One monkey, my nephew will start acting out in bad behaviors, whether it's we're at a restaurant and he throws a fry on the ground. He thinks it's funny. The other brother sees monkey 1 doing it, so monkey 2 does it. And they kind of feed off one another's behavior because they get a reaction out of it and they see a pleasing something out of it. I haven't really totally figured that point out. But in relation to the abortion campaign, this is by making those who don't understand the rights being taken away, that others can be herded into thinking like others around them. A user on Twitter with 1 million followers is perceived as more trustworthy and reputable than a similar user with 1,000 followers, resulting in a faster growth of followers and higher engagement and click-through rates. So think about that. We use social media, and this will help gain not only awareness through it quickly, but we have influencers out there that is bigger than the big wigs that are saying yes or no, yay or nay, All right, so my persuasive message is going to be, why pick me? The reason I am choosing to use another hashtag like the other campaign is because it is known and universal, okay? There have been many past movements where it has worked and gained insight, such as in 2015, shout your abortion was the other one. Hashtag shout your abortion. This was able to explain what happened during the time of their abortion. The reason I am choosing to present it in a different ways, why pick me, is because I feel that a lot of individuals do not understand why women are choosing an abortion and how they are choosing themselves in deep reflection upon their choice. Abortion is always seen as a negativity subject, like a negative subject. But there are many women trying to make sure that they focus more on their education and career before considering the option of starting a family. How does it fit into the optimal conditions? I think there are a lot of women and men that are feminists, and the movement for women is continuing into our health. Women get paid 10 to 30% less than our male counterparts. So it takes much more effort to dedication to ensure that women can succeed. This will help those who do not understand why women do it, then finally see why. This will help those who do not understand why women do it in the first place, and will explain why and support the 1 in 4 women. Will explain their story. My one limitation is that ensuring that it is not limited to Twitter. That's one big thing. I want to make sure that the mass majority of individuals will be able to see this. It's got to be on Twitter. It's got to be on Instagram, Snapchat, Tinder, Pinterest, blogs, etc. If there's a way that we could combine all of the resources, all the social medias, and put it on one page to have just hundreds and hundreds of stories of why pick me, what makes them more valuable than the heartbeat at 6 weeks. It's a big thing to think about. Ensuring that the most amount of individuals can be able to read this, and that is important. That it is like an important thing to support the women for the choice that they make, okay? The two persuasive messages are similar, but ultimately mine that I have created is better. The reason for this is because, yes, people will understand that you know me is stating that there are a lot of women out there that have already had an abortion. We know that. It's 1 in 4. You know how many women. Think about all the women you've ever met. Now, 25% of those women that you've ever came in contact with, whether it was on the bus, in class, your friend, your sister, your mom, aunts, literally so many people. Think about that. 25% of those people have had an abortion, okay? But the why pick me will help explain why there are so many women trying to make themselves better. We're no longer in 1950. I remember when my grandmother told me that she once thought that she was going to get an abortion, but back then it was with a coat hanger. It wasn't sanitary. It wasn't regulated like it is now. Women were dying because of what choices they were making then. Today, we don't need to do that. Today, it's about picking the woman over something that's so small. Literally, so small. So we need to ensure that the other movements ensure that the public was aware of the individuals. But now it's time to understand them, to really dive deep and understand the reasonings that they chose the path that they did, okay?